Welcome to CPTM Smart Partners Hub. It is almost the end of October 2016 and about 5 weeks or so from 9th of December 2016 when the annual general meeting, AGM, of the CPTM Smart Partners members will take place at the CPTM Smart Partners Hub in London. I would like to launch, on behalf of my colleagues on the board, Chairman Omar and all the CPTM board directors, the preparations for the annual general meeting and also the reflection on what took place during 2016. The annual general meeting this year of the Commonwealth Partnership for Technology Management marks the 20+1 years of networking activities. And this Sunday, I was early morning watching how the leaves, the autumn leaves, in our part of the world are becoming vivid, have a vivid color, almost like a copper color, a very lively color. And I was wondering if of a similar process, the various activities and achievements of the group could not in similar way be identified in a tree. That being said, obviously I'm not forgetting that I'm myself a CPTM networking member. This is how I came about to join about 30 years or so the network which emerged since then, and CPTM. I'm co-director of the CPTM board and CEO of the CPTM, but I'm joint dialogue convener alongside and part of the joint executive group of the Smart Partnership Movement, who has a council of patrons and advisors for the Smart Partnership International Dialogue, initiated since almost 1995. So almost the same year as the beginning of the Commonwealth Partnership for Technology Management as a company, limited by guarantee, not for profit, with members, Commonwealth government, public-private sector, Commonwealth, non-Commonwealth, and professional networking members, Commonwealth and non-Commonwealth. I thought that CPTM members would want to reflect on the feature which distinguish your networking organization from others and which have emerged within the Commonwealth and beyond in the last few years. Obviously CPTM members, and I made a note here, have got and evolved and adapted a unique cooperative governance and interface and delivery, mirroring its developed smart partnership philosophy and practice, with its smart partnership ethics and code of conduct, and based on its unique cooperative financial and professional resourcing, with its intellectual equity and win-win at its core. These features, which describe the formal aspects, dimensions of the Commonwealth Partnership for Technology Management, with its smart partnership movement, which is growing through the international dialogues, but also at the national level in the Commonwealth countries. These features become more and more an example or an evidence for many organizations in the national or international context to be followed, and they are necessary. What CPTM members did over the years, and particularly in this year, is to continue to aim at stimulating transformation, visioning, and innovation, self-confidence, and smart partnership dialogue for progressing real-time situations, and ensuring national security broadly defined in small, large, medium, emerging economies. And the 2016 was yet another proof of the power and pragmatism of the CPTM Smart Partners inclusive initiatives, which are well respected in international context and contributing to the current global dynamics, in addition to the national prosperity. This evolution of CPTM this year is again an organic evolution with ongoingly improving smart partnership practice, and which in itself is embedded in the national and regional and global twists and turns. The smart partnership approach, and hence the CPTM, did not stagnate in the past, is ahead of its time in its approach and its achievement, as again 2016 proved through the many things, many highlights that we are going to share at the AGM in December. CPTM proved again that is a collective, neutral, visionary platform, owned, shared, and maintained through the self-monitoring of its philosophy and smart partnership practice, which can only be articulated in the context of its progressive smart partnership movement. CPTM at its core, after 21 years or so, is actually a scale-free network of networks in which no one part can be the whole, and there is no way that the whole can be one part. CPTM is not a conventional institutional or administrative structure. It's not an intergovernmental process. It's not a business. It's not a Davos forum. It's not a government aid multilateral technical assistance branch or relying on interface with this type of branches. It's not a foundation. It's not a cult. It's not a religion. CPTM is based on the way of life, or CPTM is a way of life in different cultures in our own context, and is articulated with a common collective vision in mind. CPTM Smart Partners members made and continue to make an enormous contribution to the humanity, and the future is more secure for it, as some of our most respected CPTM fellows emeritus, were reflecting in the last few weeks while in London. And we hope that the CPTM individuals, be them representing governments in the Commonwealth, or public-private sector, or their professional contribution as networking members, they will be interacting towards the annual general meeting this year, particularly in relation to the new dimensions that the CPTM as a collective platform put on the agenda for the year to come. The issues related to data, the issues related to national security and how to achieve that, and in particular the issue of adapting and using all the approaches that exist or they have to be developed in relation to the twists and turns of things that take place politically and otherwise in the national context. We're very glad to hear that some of our key members, including our chairman Omar in Malaysia, or General Shurdo Mixon in Jordan, or the George Christodoulidis in Cyprus, among others, are initiating dialogues with the people, smart partnership dialogues. One of these dialogues will take place on 5th of November in Amman, and has been nurtured, the dialogue, and stimulated by General Ihsan Shurdom, and is addressing the community of Circassians that are at the core of the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan. And we're wishing General Shurdom and the Circassian Smart Partnership Group a great dialogue on 5th of November, and we wish to hear what will be next. Similarly, later in the year, at the beginning of December, Tanshi Omar is mobilizing a number of smart partners to have a dialogue for national and social cohesion. And I'm sure he will not forget about this enormous input that science advice makes in that context, in particular in Malaysia currently and in the future. So I only would like to say that our CPTM Smart Partners Hub and the staff that is part of the engine will try to do everything they can to engage you into a think tanking and a webinar before the actual formal annual general meeting, most likely on a Thursday, 8th of December, and also try to ensure that you are part of the annual general meeting, the 21st annual general meeting. If you cannot do that in person to be here, you're sending proxies, but also you can be online. So this is what means a Smart Partnership Annual General Meeting, the 21st one this year in 2016. Watch the website of CPTM and watch the emails that are being sent with the notice of the Annual General Meeting and with the various other engagements that we will be making by beginning of December. All the best.